Hey.
Yeah.
There we go.
That's interesting. Well, the fascinating thing about pretty much the because of Winamp and how old it is, it doesn't show up whenever I alt tab. It doesn't like appear that way. That's really interesting.
Oh, yes.
How you doing tonight, man?
I'm tired.
Sounds about normal.
Fucking hell of the 2 months.
Yeah, I mean you've kind of vanished, so I imagine that's probably the case.
Yeah, I hate the holidays. Anyway.
What do I want to pick?
My wife was wanting to watch the Wheel of Time because there's one of her favorite characters in it. I'm just about to text her saying, but it'll make you so mad if you actually watch it.
Which one's her favorite character in this case?
Min. It's a character from the books. She should have been introduced, like, I don't know, 3 episodes ago. I don't know. I mean, work's work. Life's life. Kids the kids. You?
Yeah. Well, in this case, it's just been pretty much the same kind of thing. I've been just rocking the crap out of the system and trying to get everything to work. You know what I mean? It's so good that we've actually managed to get as far as we've gotten with Magic finally getting itself pushed into the realm of solidity that it is now, and God, the rest of it. I went back through and checked the like the combat again, like the various stuff that I wrote in that. Jesus Christ, there's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot in that OneNote.
Yeah, it's only getting bigger. Yeah, I ported over all of the cybernetics that I had for that other system that I was like whipping shit into for, and so all those tables came over, and I translated it into credits and put all that in there. So now I'm gonna be making like the cybernetics, the human cybernetic, etc. That's all gonna happen with like a budget and all of that. It's basically kind of what I want to cover with talking points, but Scott's been going bananas when it comes to just.
Oh, he got a shiny new toy. You just gave him the means to use it.
Well, on top of that, me using my Shutterstock like I'm supposed to. Freaking nuts. So much good content right there.
Well, I mean, that's half the battle, is making sure that you're not trampling on any licensing.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and luckily enough, like the licensing for it is like really good. We can use pretty much everything we want to use without much trouble.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. Scott's putting everything together for you, man. It's beautiful.
Yeah, that it is.
I mean, even in like this skeletal stage, it's already looking prettier than half the player rule books I've seen.
Right? Well, which one's the one that, like, what's one that that kind of comes to mind in terms of like comparison? I don't know, like the 2077 or the, like, what is it, Cyberpunk? I don't know if it's 2077, but it's the one that Artel Saurian came out with. Again, they reprinted it but made it all spiffy.
Yeah.
Woo! I ended up getting a bunch of really weird stuff, like one of these. It's super neat, actually. It's actually a dice. It's a dice coin.
Okay.
So you spin it, but you can see on the outer rim here, when you're looking at it, you can see all the different numbers, right? And it's set randomly because it's not 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not a consecutive number stretch. But you spin it, right, on your table because it's got this little bump on the bottom. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
So that bump on the bottom allows you to spin it like a top. And then what you do is you just let it spin for a sec and put your finger down on it. The number immediately to the left of your finger counts as the actual roll. But you just spin it, tap, hold it, and you're just like, okay. And you can do that, and you can just... But this is a D6. I've got... I think I have an Ot die and a D20 coming to me in the same shape. It's a...
Really? Where are you getting that from?
I got these from Amazon, but they're from Mythic Nation, which is a neat thing. Like, that's their emblem and everything. So, Mythic Nation. Looks like it's reversed in my camera. But, yeah, so they have Anubis. The one that I'm getting with the D20 actually has Odin and one of his hounds in it. And the Ot die has a phoenix.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. It's pretty freaking fantastic. Boop. And it's all metal. And then I bought myself a whole host of D6s because I don't get a chance to buy stuff for myself very much these days. I do not.
Oh, it's good that you can.
Yeah. Well, I managed to do exactly what I had hoped for when it came to all of my Amazon bucks, so people will be gonna get stuff. So you've been out of the loop a little bit in terms of like the chats in and of themselves. You've been coming back recently, which is awesome. I'm kind of curious as to what you've noticed so far. Like, what's caught your interest so far in all the like hundreds of threads that have spawned, or is you 33 to 55 or however many you seem to have missed?
Armor.
The armor is what stands out?
Yeah, because it was huge. It just basically finally codifies it. Right? It's been like a concept that's I've always worked with, but the magic system, that's the one I'm actually really happy with because I want to play around with that.
I have a feeling it's going to do really well. I was experimenting with just like low ball dice, you know, just trying to check it out and see how it works. The exhaustion mechanic is so fracking fun. I just love the fact that you're like, okay, I'm starting to wear out. I can feel it. You can start seeing the numbers piling up. And
yeah, because we've just been, it's like we were talking before, we've been role-playing that. We haven't really held ourselves accountable.
Yeah. Well, now the accountability relies on the mechanic in and of itself, which is, it's good, and it works.
Yeah, you'll need to write an advantage or disadvantage for that one, too.
Well, there's going to be a lot of, like, advantages and disadvantages that I could put in for, like, later on. It just, like, all these things that are refining themselves, it makes it easier, because all advantages and disadvantages do is just tweak it one way or the other. Like, here's this awesome sort of semi-neutral, just kind of exists sort of mechanic. Now we can make it better or worse, mainly, you know, because you can go one of either direction or both, and makes it very interesting for all that stuff, because I think everybody kind of, even realistically, you just kind of deal with those kinds of things in real life, which is, again, kind of the main point. It's really important to have, for this anyway, like the sense of like gritty not hyper realism, but cinematic gritty realism that makes it kind of feel like something is worthwhile, especially when you get it. I like the fact that we're going to be playing street level characters next.
Yeah. Yeah. James Gordon the Seventh.
With his trusty pink robot, Judo.
Don't make me bust out judo. And then he just brings out like a little red button. Goes, I warned you. Clicks the red button. And he just is 18 foot going, Kawaii does. It's like, haven't been able to fix that yet. But
secretly, he doesn't want to.
Senpai San says, fuck him up. Nah, just that's the most ridiculous thing I could think of. Oh, and the fact that if he ever meets Dark Knight, he goes, oh, God, the stories that my grandfather told were true. You're supposed to be dead.
God. It's going to be hilarious. I just love the fact that his radio won't stop playing K-pop. Like, stuff like that is just priceless.
Oh, I love that because, the reason it did that too is so that you can actually put K-pop music into the game.
I'm glad you're thinking of the excuses I'm going to need to be able to drive people crazy.
I know. It's like all of a sudden it's like, oh, looks like Judo's coming into battle. Cue it up on the Winamp. Da, 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 da. And you're like, what the fuck is going on? We're taking shadows to really weird places, folks.
I know what I'd start off with, too. I am the best by 2NE1.
Oh my god. Is that the one we used to listen to?
Yep.
Oh my god.
Yep, straight out of Convergence, man.
Oh, I gotta pull that shit up again.
Yeah, the frickin' rifles at the end. Like, why? Why?
That was the part that got me. What was that again? It was the
2NE1, like 2NE1, the number one.
I am the best. Yep.
Yep.
The number one search, by the way.
Yep.
Oh, I remember this shit.
Here.
Because the music I've been listening to lately on YouTube, apparently one of my first searches is Viking Christmas music. Aggressive Viking battle music.
Oh my god. Step aside, Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Come on, Cameron. What's going on? Ah, the Drewmeister running late. That's alright.
Here we go. Listen to that song again, finally, for the first time in a while.
Alright, well, we're gonna, lambast this thing.
Is flashbacks.
Oh, man.
Like, why the WWE belt?
Right? What's up with that? Oh, there we go.
I ain't gonna lie, still like the song.
Alright, we're gonna do something a bit interesting here. I'm gonna experiment. Okay. Totally gonna plug these guys with this kind of stuff anyway. Yeah, here we go. Alright. This is gonna be interesting. What? Yeah, and by that,
God, this video is weird.
it changed all my. Nope. Okay. Oh, we're gonna move that over. Gotta love these technical issues. That's so awesome. Wham! There we are. This is so out of range.
And then there was the
Yeah.
dildo bunny hat.
I don't remember, so I'm gonna get slammed with it here in a second. I'm sure of it. Yep, I'm the best by 2anyone. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yep, with the baseball bats. And the punk look. Very Japanese, very Korean, I guess. I'm sorry.
Korean, yeah.
Yeah, they're
Well,
Korean.
and again, to have this blasting while you're trying to kick the crap out of somebody.
Yeah, I agree with you. And him just in the background. Oh God, it just won't stop. Fucking fire rockets.
Fire rockets. We have to. I'm really hoping that whenever doing anything along these lines, that he makes a command like that, and the music punctuates at the right moment.
All right.
You know what's funny? I don't even think I'm gonna have to like hope for that. I don't think I'm gonna have to hope for that at all.
And there's the machine guns. With the oh my God at the end. Oh boy. That was something.
Yeah.
Still enjoy it.
I don't know. It's got a ring to it for whatever reason.
Right?
Oh yeah, there's that hat you were talking about. Except for it looks like ice cream cones to me.
Okay, well, I went with the more extravagant answer.
Maybe ice cream cones that are in the shape of turds?
Alright.
Hello, Scott.
Hey.
Ice cream cones in the shape of turtles. Why not?
My thing's all wrapping up. Oh, you know, that whole thing, the bat, the baseball bat that they're swinging around, all I can think about is like Harley Quinn if she was like suddenly K-pop.
I mean, she's got the pigtails and the dyed hair and the...
Yeah, well, I mean, they rocked it out here too, except for they turned the hair into horns, which I don't even know how they can do that kind of stuff with hair. The first time I actually saw 2NE1's I Am the Best was watching So You Think You Can Dance. It was the weirdest... It was one of the weirdest dance routines they ever had, but it was so cool, especially with their couch with a tongue on it, and some of the dance moves they pulled off were a little ridiculous. But I mean, this is like, what's funny now that I look at it, this music video kind of epitomizes the whole concept of, like, what Shadows can probably emphasize. It's just kind of like in your face glamour, glitz, a little bit of weird thrown in there.
A little bit.
Yeah, just a tad. A
No.
smidge.
My bet every game is, I wonder when this is really gonna get weird. Not just weird, like really. Okay. Human centipede, gotcha. Moving on.
You know, I apparently have given myself a bit of a reputation. Apparently the horror stuff that I've got has my friend Mike kind of freaked out.
Oh, okay.
That story
Yeah.
that I wrote a little while back, that's short with like all the horror stuff in it. He's just like, yeah, I still have like, that story still haunts my nightmares, by the way. And I'm like, wow, dude, you went to tour and everything. You're an infantryman. I got inside your skull? Woo! I must have done a good job.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Okay, so Drew's bailing.
Oh yeah, no worries.
Yeah, my wife had her Christmas party, so she just got home 20 minutes ago.
Well, the show must go on. Yes. Well, okay. So, we were just kind of cranking it. I was looking forward to kind of throwing everybody into the discussion here. But, we've been kicking some serious A with the, like some of the art and the cover art and all that other crap. And I was thinking about archetypes was going to be a topic of discussion, but I have seriously got to go over the fact that, like, the pages are starting to come out. We're getting panels full blown, and like there's even a mock-up for like how some of these things are going to look. I'm really excited about all that.
Well, and finding that Shutterstock is like starting to pay for itself. Because that one image that you sent over, the guy with the two guns, like I clicked on that to, buy it myself, and it was like $90.
What, really?
Yeah.
No shit.
For a one-time
Yeah.
use. Was not a one-time use, but like a not with a membership,
Right.
just
Single
like
fee.
a one
that's
single fee. It was like $90.
So many crickets. That's insane.
Yeah. So the fact that you got that as one of your, complimentary, not complimentary, but like
what I'm paying for the 10. Yeah, they're getting their money's worth right now.
Yeah, let me see. I just to open it to download. So, standard license. Oh, so enhanced license, $99. To get it on demand is $10.
And you have to go, Scott.
I have Well, I told her to go to bed, so.
First mistake.
So this right here, this is the shot. And Scott wound up making this look amazing. So,
yeah, I was following the art thread the entire time.
Yeah. This is kind of the general mock-up idea of what we're going to be doing for, just like I love the Game Master's Workshop. I love that this is such a great image. The one that you got for like the GM's Workshop, like it's ridiculously good. And then we have the World of Shadows itself, which is gonna this is the stuff that we're gonna start putting out there. That's gonna be really amazing. Oh, I can't wait. There's been so much good crap that's come from out of this.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Yeah, that's why I was saying that we're in pace for a year, because now that Scott's utilizing the publishing software, and we're able to have the CRB template rewrite from based off all the conversations and essentially the work that's going into the OneNote.
Yeah, I seriously anticipate that we'll actually have something going.
It's plug and play at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and insertion of lore over here, a little bit of a change up there, modifying anything that needs to be modified in terms of small changes, things like that. Because the biggest issues right now, I'm surprised that I'm actually in this spot. Like I'm at the archetype stage where I'm going to be rebuilding those to line everything up, and then once those are constructed the way that they're supposed to be, instead of just copy paste what we originally had, it's going to be a whole different look entirely.
That's why I wanted to I knew you were going to kind of hit the archetype soon, so that's why I wanted to finish up the werewolf section.
Yeah, and what I'll do is I'll probably move like all of your lore stuff into the notes section, and I'll like cannibalize, and then you can like work from the main section there, and you can do your additions or whatever you need to, and then we can we'll co-op it from the notes side, and then push the final product into that other notebook.
Yeah, give me a second. Get the cat in.
Certainly. I mean, seriously, look at this crap. This is insane. This is nuts, dude.
All right, I hadn't tucked her in apparently the correct way.
$90, man. I can't even imagine.
Yeah, but that's why I wanted to get that section done. So if I do that, then you finish up the rest of the archetype session, and then all you're doing is plug and play for all the archetypes. That's where we were at, Scott, if you didn't hear it. It's the fact that all the work you've done makes it plug and play into the CRB. So
that's the goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and the OneNote is working as a hell of a SharePoint for, like, all of this stuff.
Yeah, I really like that, because then it's work on your own time. Like, I can, I've got my other computer here, and I'm like, work, and then I'm like, oh, okay, I have a webinar thing I have to, like, listen in on, but I don't have to, like, watch.
Mm-hmm.
So then I can have that playing, shift here, and be working on stuff.
I was cracking up whenever you were referencing the discussion with your wife, when it's like, you're getting really into that. You're just like, boop, like,
like, yes, I am.
It's gonna be so good. Oh man.
Oh, it's because I bought that bundle.
Yeah, speaking of bundles, I have to actually voice my appreciation once again for the heaps of crap that I get to go through now. I just need to figure out how to, like, get those books you guys got me to show up in the Kindle. I'm trying to figure out how to, like, import them over, because it's not really simple from Windows. Like, I got to figure out how I can, maybe I have to get, like, a podunk version of an e-published software application. I don't know. I thought Kindle could probably just import it. It can do PDFs, but that's painful as hell in my eyeballs.
Yeah. Oh.
No.
This says find your Kindle email, and then you can email documents to yourself.
I'll have to figure that out.
And then you can, if you've got a Kindle, you can, like, email the files to your Kindle and then just open it up on that. It looks like.
Weird. That's a very strange way to do it.
It is.
So I guess I'll just throw this question out there. So I finally hit archetypes, got the magic portion of it squared away, finally got the sheet figured out. You found the one flaw in Will where I had to construct the frickin' bonus for it, so it wasn't just slamming the entirety of Will itself.
I don't know. I like having, like, a 15 in every category except survival being, like, way up there.
Yeah. I just had to create a secondary field in my data form so that I could get that all written up and stuff, but it worked out pretty well. Although it's funny that sanity literally makes it to where you just, like, 4, 4, 4, 4, it never gets bigger. And I'm like, I don't know why, but that makes sense to me. Still works. But like, as far as the archetypes bit of it is going, since, like, magic and the other bigger major sections have more or less been panned out, is there anything, like, in the archetypes that I'm going to, because I've renamed them all, they're going to have their own.
Oh yeah, let me look at those, because it's like Arcanist or something, right?
The Mystics are now the Arcanists. Yep. Or Arcanist. Either way works.
Arcanist. We'll just go for a third pronunciation. There was, I forget what word it was that, like, I had. Oh, what is it? Oh, like automatic.
Yeah.
But then, like, automaton.
Oh.
I always said automaton, and then I heard someone say automaton, and I was like, wait, what? I'm like, but it's automaton, and, like, it just threw me for, like, a day. I couldn't.
I think my worst goof up ever was whenever I was going through, like, D&D 3rd edition, and I got completely blown away because it was Warpony, Warpony, all as one word, And I was like reading through the various. It was in the index in the back, and I was like, "Yeah, what the hell's a warpany?" And my friend was like, "A what?" I'm like, "Warpany." It says it right here, warpany.
Yeah.
And I like turned it around. It's like war pony. I'm like, "Oh, son of a like," and he didn't let me live past that for years. He still hits me with it.
Warpany.
Yeah, a fucking warpany.
Well, I read something that said you should never make fun of the way someone pronounces a word because it means they learned it from reading.
Right. Yeah.
All right, so the human cyborg looks like you've done a lot in that one.
Yeah, I'm trying to push in a budget, and the rest of it I'm going to go one to the next. Human cyborg is the one I've been able to get to, but I'm starting to accumulate photos for some of the other ones, including the because like that Night City folder, I'm starting to build that up to see which one might actually have a good cyborg picture. But yeah, putting in all the cybernetics, trying to get a budget roll so that and it'll be based on the power level of the campaign you start in, so that way you know exactly. And I'm going to do the same thing probably for all of them. And so
a cash budget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can go buy your cybernetics based on the based on the power level of the campaign you're in.
Yeah. Oh, my camera's off. Oops.
Yep. I thought you were doing.
I couldn't. I had my own picture was behind the thing. Because I don't need to stare at myself, but so yeah. I would love if there was some. I don't know. I don't want things to be cookie cutter, but I would love if there was some standardization between the archetypes, so that it was like when you reach this level you unlock one more power, or something like that, so that they're a little comparable to each other, or like kind of what you had before with the undead, where you were like, this level of undead doesn't exist until this power level. Like, you can't walk around as like the Witch King,
Yeah.
From Lord of the Rings, like in a street level campaign. Like, that's not a thing. You can't be a full revenant, lord commanding 50 minions of undead at the low level. So, something like, and I don't know what that looks like. Like with a werewolf, you unlock more transformations or something. Like, that seems weird.
Right. No, not something like that. So werewolf. So what it's going to have to be. This is where it gets to be interesting, because we have to step away from the White Wolf stuff entirely. So what'll happen is similar. So like, if anything, the human cyborg archetype will be one hell of a template, because when you're dealing with the amount of information that comes from the human cyborg archetype itself, right? Just the sheer number of cybernetics and their enhancements and how they function, all of that. There's a lot that goes on to it, so the uniqueness is already there. Whenever I say arcanist, I'm going like, okay, what we need to address is, where you learned it, right? Are you just off the cuff, sort of like you basically farted one day and like sparkles shot out and you now realize that something weird is happening, and so you're just getting involved? Or did somebody show up in your life that was basically saying, it's like, hey, you've got a little bit of a spark there, let's find out how far that goes, and they're training you. So there's kind of like, how did you come across it? Because it's not really it's not a it's a form of like merit without the genetic component of only certain people can be mages, etc. So it's getting past that.
I was going to ask that question, like, can anybody be taught? And are some people just better at it, or is it like you must have the lineage? Or
so you might end up having something that goes along the lines of an advantage in, so like if you're going to start off as an arcanist, you're going to have the best possible chances of making things work to your favor, right? If you want to like supplement and start developing a magical point, first of all, the character, it's all story based, obviously, because if you're introduced to magic, you're like, holy shit, I want to learn how to do that. And if you're a cyborg to start with, you're like, I want to do that crap. Where can I learn how to do that? You know what I mean? Because that's the whole point, is that some of it has to have some crossplay over the top of those archetypes. And so the magical part of it does do that. But if you start as an arcanist, you have the epitome of the advantage because you're focused on that first. And that's kind of what I've been doing. I'm like, okay, where you begin is where you get the maximum benefit, and where you decide to like cherry pick and supplement and do all this other junk, you can basically get that, but you're not getting all the other added advantages. So I'm basically going like, okay, what are the advantages of being an Arcanist to start with versus supplementing?
I really like that idea. That's kind of fun. Like, not that there's a ceiling necessarily, but like instead of it being like the, we get the multi-class. Oh, my friend that I told you about, who's like, I'm a 1/11th class of everything. I'm 6 levels behind everybody because every time I level, I gain a third of a level, and like all this stuff. But I can do everything. But whereas this is kind of inverting that a little bit and saying, because you're not like leveling up the same way,
right? It feels much more lateral.
That your potential is greater the earlier you start. I like that idea. Yeah, because like Barrick has, a year and a half in, started dabbling in some very minor magical stuff. He'll never be on par with the stuff that Colt is doing, with the stuff that Ivar's doing.
Right. Yeah, he's not going to have that level of control, no. But he will be able to supplement and add to his abilities in that own way. And besides, if he were to go full Arcanist, it wouldn't be Barrick anymore in a sense, because the character concept and the background just kind of don't mesh.
Right.
Which is part of the reason why the archetypes are so damn important for when it comes down to like character concept. Like, the character concept is supposed to be there first. So which is why the last of it's going to be custom archetype and going through, here are the things or the questions you need to ask, which I don't know if you've checked out what I already did on that front. Because there's the, what's an archetype, and you were looking at some of the paragraphs and stuff. But at the very ending point where it's talking about custom archetypes, I went through, like, the things that you really should be considering when you're developing your own archetype, and more or less not trying to develop entirely new mechanics. Instead, tweaking what's already there because it's so damn easy. Like, the mechanics, the way that they work, they're so easy that you can like flip or mix and match and do whatever, and it feels new, but you're not using anything that doesn't already exist. So the sheet doesn't have to be reworked. You don't have to go and like erase this and modify that. It's already in there to be that kind of adaptable, which is what's really great. You can homebrew the hell out of
Shadow. Tree of talent trees. I'm almost thinking of talent trees.
The other thing that you built into it is with respect to the SFR, right?
Yeah,
because you got the Arcanist, and even in the kind of the last year when we saw the abilities from the archetypes, SFR is utilized by Arcanists, vampires, werewolves, Nephilim, everybody. Your powers and your abilities, their costs are based off of the SFR, not blood pools, not rage pools or anything else. It's your spiritual stamina. So.
Right. Yeah, and like the example that I gave in that archetype, and the custom one in particular, it's basically going like, the Arcanist gets to get away with casting magic whenever they want. The difference is that they have to compete against their own tolerance of how much resonance can they accumulate over time and not get all fatigued. And then, SFR basically goes, I don't have to worry about the chance of this being cast. I'm just going to go like that. And it's like, I get it guaranteed, but I have a limited pool to be able to do that. So it is two ways of creating the same effect. The only difference is exactly the experience that the player gets. They can have the guaranteed effect with a limited pool of options and a certain amount of usage, and that means that they get a limited number of spells. They get a limited amount that they could do in a single round, where the Arcanist, whenever they go through to do their thing, they can cast incredibly huge spells. Like I said, it's self-balancing. It's really strange. Like, the rate of use really acts as that bottleneck, so that if you get somebody who's going to be like, okay, I'm, obviously somebody who's more, embedded into powers. I think I called him a psychic vampire wizard or whatever when I was talking about like how to modify the actual mechanics to make the kind of weird, customized bit. But it was basically like,
now you have a psychic vampire wizard ready to shoot spells using psychic energy drawn from other living objects.
Yep.
And yes, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
Well, and the way I see it is that you're going to get folks who you have the people who want to create an entirely original character.
Mm-hmm.
But then you'll get people who are like, I really want to be X from, I want to be Dante from Devil May Cry. Like, how do I do that? Okay, well, I need to have some sort of vampiric ability and like jump really high and have some ability to like whip a sword thingy through the room and like, okay, how do I, and then figure out their powers. And it could be, well, that's just a vampire that you throw your own flavor on.
Right.
Or that's just a demon that you throw your own flavor on. Or it could be something totally...
Yeah, you could basically
totally
go like,
unique.
okay, we've got a Nephilim, which is basically what he is. He's supposed to be like, if you're talking about Dante from Devil May Cry, he's capable of crying because he's part mortal. So you could literally go off of the Nephilim, which is exactly that.
Right.
You could use that as the template, but tweak certain things. And obviously, because SFR is such a universal trait, that's the other thing too, is that because that pool translates to anything that, it's the, spiritual force rating is literally the energy that's developed from a metaphysical source. And as a result, you wind up with, the ability to transpose whatever the hell you want on top of that.
Which will be important to put in the archetypes, by the way, is SFR regeneration rates.
Well, it's going to be
how
specific to how they get it, right?
Well,
some may
the thing is,
regenerate,
like,
some you have to feed. It depends. Like I said,
Yeah.
they all
So,
tweak.
in the description is how do you get it back, and
Yeah.
then have your little blurb, so because that'll definitely be really critical when we actually get it into it, because it's going to be the component for everything.
Well, and
How do you
like,
fight?
you could easily say that will is where you're regenerative. Like will is the power of SFR. Like you can see the connection between the two. Like body is your connection to healing. Your SFR can definitely be connected to will and how fast it regenerates, etc.
You can have baseline regeneration, but then
Right.
you have the
And again,
archetype specific to regeneration.
Well, and you can even go so far as like the whole, getting the bonus in the same way. Like I said, it's never, the system is developed in such a way that you don't have to rip anything away to create the effect you want. It's all there. You can just generate the idea and go like, okay, if I tweak this and this, literally it produces that exact same feeling. So it's like if you wanted to make Wolverine in Shadows, you can do it. It's not even that hard.
Let's make Wolverine in Shadows.
Could totally do it. Totally.
Throw the character sheet up. On I don't know if it works to stream the sheet. It was throwing a fit last time.
Well, hang on, because
Every time you clicked it, like zoomed in on the cell.
yeah, that's because we were doing it through Discord. This is different.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, let's go ahead and we'll prove it. Prove the hell out of it. Where am I going? Here we go.
Because like I swear that is what I do all the time. I get it. I see a new game system. I'm like, okay, let's make Green Arrow. How well do you handle somebody who's good in hand-to-hand, good in agility, good at stealth, good at social, good at, trick arrows, like whatever. Like what mechanics do you have to do that? That has no superpowers.
Right.
Or like I said, let's make the avatar. Like how do we do that? Okay, I need an elemental shaman monk who uses, like...
Don't forget the twist.
Right.
All right, we now have the Wolverine sheet. We're gonna go here.
I mean, Barrack is kind of like my attempt to make, the Witcher / RoboCop, like.
Okay, so we have the sheet up on stream here.
Oh, like if I go on Twitch, I can watch it?
Yep.
Oh, let me go do that.
Yeah, I'd say make sure you mute yourself because that'll get fracking weird. All right, so been troubleshooting the living crap out of this. So this will be interesting. But yeah, he's definitely going to be heroic, period. For sure.
Well, let's roll those dice.
Oh yeah, we're gonna roll them. All right, so we're gonna get this going here. Whoops. Oh, yep, that's where I started. Like, if you can.
I will say the thing that I keep
it looks like it's 3 plus 40.
doing on accident in the sheet is trying to type on the first tab. And I'm like, no, I have to type on the character info, and it will populate to the first tab.
All right, so it looks like we got 8, 8, and 7. So what's going to happen then? That's going to be 23. So that gives us the 53 character points to screw with. All right, so I'm going to have to
look at that. I loved that.
Yep. Though this was your request specifically, is having the power level in there with the modular countdown.
Okay, so my strategy for my rapid 20-minute builds is to start with every stat at 5. Just like this is my baseline person, and then I can adjust levels up and down.
All right, so what that basically means
that
is
costs
got
45 points or something like that.
Yeah, so that leaves us with 8 right there to work with. Now he's got to have decent, like his body has got to be up there.
Right.
So regardless of whatever's going on,
or reflexes and body, right?
Yeah. Those are going to be the 2 biggest ones. We're going to need at least 9 on each, if you're asking me, just from what I've seen in comics and TV and the rest of it.
Yeah, I would say tech is going to be low.
Yep. So
I would say intelligence is going to be, magnetism, empathy.
Yeah, magnetism is usually pretty...
Like, even if you just took 1 down on intelligence, tech, magnetism, and empathy.
Right. So... Tech, magnetism is next. All right, cool. Those are all dropped down. And that gives us 42 here, so we've got 11
I would
points.
say empathy one more.
And then we can go here. That gives us to 41. So we now have 12 points to meddle with. Let's go ahead and push this up to a 9. And we're going to push that up to a 9, which is 8 points. Okay, leaves us 4 points left. His luck. He's one of the few characters I could definitely say that if we're going to go down to it. Luck is really not going to count that much. He's not really going to need it because of how hardcore his regeneration is.
Right.
I just don't see him dying unless he's getting, he's got to have something god-awful happen. So luck being at 5 is fine. Hell, it can even drop down to 4.
No. He just has bad luck to begin with. That's his whole thing.
he just starts with unlucky.
Yeah, he might. That is a disadvantage that we could go with. So his cool is going to be ridiculous. I'm going to put that up to 7 at least. So that's going to put us at 51, leaving us 2 more points. And then his mobility has got to be a 7. And that's it.
Yeah.
Oops. Oh yeah, 53. That's it. So we're zeroed out on character points. Oops, actually he's got more than that. I forgot to change this. Haha, he's got 10 more. Wolverine is street level though. Not bad.
Damn, still scary. That's pre adamantium.
Mm-hmm.
Right, that's with the bone claws.
Yeah, that's bone claws and the rest of it. We're the street level at this point is like where he's basically only got mild regeneration anyway.
He's like feral. Well, because he was born with some, right?
Yeah.
So his base mutant feral regeneration in the Canadian wilderness, or apparently named James Howlett fighting in the Civil War or whatever.
Yeah.
Some other bullshit that I pretend didn't happen. And then we go to his Weapon X form when he's like, go heroic level.
I'm going to drop that down to 4. He's going to be unlucky anyway, so we'll say 55. Yep. Okay. Now let's get his cool go up to an 8. I'll be 56, and we still have 7 points left over, but this is not a bad baseline for where he's going to be, because these numbers here, especially like reflex and body, those are going to jump past 10 easy. His cool is exactly where it should be, I think. It could even go up to 9 if we wanted it to. And in fact, let's do that. And
I would say you could even go back and put a 1 intelligence, tech, magnetism, empathy, whatever, right? If you've got points left over.
Yeah.
Bring those back up to a baseline level.
Right.
Because with an empathy like that, that's going to give him still those sanity issues.
He is a little crazy, but we'll bump it up 1. That's fine.
But that's the thing, is what you can do is you can bump that up with the advantage of Iron Will.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right?
Yep.
You could give him an Iron Will, and he may be crazy, he may have 0 empathy, but if you try to attack his blank slate of a mind, it doesn't really work.
His blank slate.
All right.
He's a master builder.
That's the other thing, is the fact that his adamantium skull could protect him from
yeah, he definitely has the thick
skull.
Skin.
Thick skull, thick skin, pain tolerance.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, listen to all these advantages already there, and I'm like, yeah, dude, already.
But he's also got Berserker Rage, and...
So there's the Berserker disadvantage.
Unlucky.
Yeah.
Short.
Short.
I don't know.
Isn't there a bloodlust?
We're just like caking it on.
Isn't there a bloodlust one, if I remember correctly?
Yes, there is bloodlust, yes.
Yeah.
Although it's a little creepier. It's kind of like licking the blades kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got 5 points left over. Do we think
I
these
think we
stats
can
right now are good?
drop those into freebie.
All right, that sounds like a plan to me. So 18 here. These guys get 5 more. All right. So these are baseline stats for what we got going on. Now, like you guys were talking about, we have to hit the advantages and disadvantages. We have already chosen what's going to be unlucky.
We'll do skills first.
I want to tap these guys in here. We have unlucky, thick skull. I'm just going to get this in while thick.
Oh, yeah.
And Dee and I were talking about this because we made my street level is keeping the advantages and disadvantages actually capped within this list. So
it's kind of
that you don't exceed and have like 20 of them.
Right.
Here's the thing: is you can take them as all disadvantages if you want, or you can have a few advantages.
Yeah.
Or you can have a lot of advantages and then some disadvantages. So that it's kind of capped at this, and then D was gonna.
What does that give you? 10, 11?
Yeah, it's 11. And the thing about that is it's kind of a psychological thing where it's like, I don't want to fill this out anywhere else. I've only got this many. So the automatic assumption is like, I can only really do this much. But
it pushes you to go deeper instead of wider.
Yeah, exactly. Yep,
so you've got all that IP dispel. Okay, double down on your, thick skin or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, so if we're going to be doing skills next, based on, because you are correct, we should probably focus on doing the skills next up here. Let's do, where are we at? We've got, 45 plus intelligence reflex. That's right. That part doesn't really change. So, boop. It looks like we've got 14, which ain't much, but 17. Come on, dude. All right, so we have 59 points to go with. Well, I'd say he's got acrobatics. Do we want to just do like what I usually do when it comes to skills is I usually mark it with a 1 and then I boost them. Like kind of like your character points thing. I just go like, this is a skill that I want. So, like 1, 1, 1, 1, whatever it is, and then I boost
it. Acrobatics.
Yeah, I would say what's the skill cap for heroic?
5, I believe. It is 5. I remembered correctly.
Yeah. So, what I did when I made the Captain America and Hawkeye, and now I want to play the Capcom Avengers game with Captain America and Hawkeye and Wolverine and all that, but I just went through and I did 4, and I had 46 points or whatever, and I picked
Okay. So
11 skills, and I gave myself maxed in those skills.
Uh-huh.
But that's my strategy because
I think that's actually not a bad way to go. So we'll
having one in 20 different skills doesn't get you much. But what I also like to do on this, type in a 0 in all of these ranks, because then it will populate with your base score. So you can see, oh, my base acrobatics is a 10.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So then that can give you an idea too. Or if you're looking and you're like, wow, you know, I really want my deception to be higher. You know, however you want to go about it.
Yeah.
Your combat skills are all pretty much going to be the same because they're all reflex based.
Yeah. Well, and the thing about that is that this right here, definitely going to say acrobatics is one of it. So we're going to push that up there. But if you notice, the bonus kicks in, like, with the rest of it, like, that is a hell of an acrobatics. Jesus.
Yeah.
Like, I forgot that I tightened the spread. I'm like, 18 acrobatics. Like, that used to be kind of meh in the original setup. But now I'm looking at it going, like, God damn! Like, it's so... Like, 10 is the new average as opposed to 15. Like, that's how much I've dropped it down. Like, all those numbers
are
just... Like, so the 15 is kind of the, like, whoa, like, that's some skill. And then beyond that is, like, that's some mastery.
Intimidation.
Yeah, I have to agree. Absolutely. So we'll put 4 in there.
And then stealth and survival.
What was it? That was
Intimidation.
I put it in the wrong one.
Not investigation, I'm sorry. I meant it.
Yeah, I got it misappropriated, but it's cool and magnetism. His magnetism doesn't have any bonus to it, but he's got 13, so that's good.
Yeah, I would say stealth, survival, tactics, tracking.
Wow, all the S's. So
right, cycle.
Right.
He has a motorcycle.
Yep. Absolutely true. All right, so there's another 12, 16, 20.
Athletics.
24. Yep.
Awareness. See, awareness is going to be a tricky one because it's intelligence and empathy.
Yeah.
And those are low for him.
And he's more combat sense awareness than he is actual awareness.
No, like if you go here and put 4 in combat sense awareness, he's already way up higher.
Oh, but yeah, put a 4 in that, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but does he really dodge? I'm just saying. He does.
Yeah, he does. But, oh god, he's got a hell of a dodge. Look at that. It's so pretty. Anyway, how much?
But like martial arts, but there's nothing in handgun, heavy
28
rifle. Like,
yeah, he doesn't really
him.
need it. Martial arts for sure. So let's see here. I'm going to recount this again because I keep losing it. So it's 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, and then we have 32 and 36. So martial arts is next. Oh god. Ew. Oh shit, he's nasty.
Yeah.
He's so nasty. He's nasty, man. That's perfect. I don't even know what to call that martial art. Ginsu, maybe?
Well, he's trained, like he trained in Japan.
Yeah, that's right.
Right? So...
I think he was actually trained in, damn, if I could remember the official martial art for the samurai.
Bushido?
No, Bushido's the philosophy they follow.
That's right. I was like, wait, no.
No, it's a longer
Dog.
name. I used to know it. But yeah, he'd be trained with knowledge about Iaijutsu and the rest of all of that. That would be his prime functionality. Now, the utility skills, ironically, he might know like demolitions because of his military background. And he would definitely know basic security, which is getting around like the standard stuff, not so much like e-security, which is like overriding cameras and circumventing elevators and shit like that.
His method of tech is like stick the claw into it. Oh, the door won't open. But like street deal, streetwise.
He'd definitely have streetwise. I don't know about street deal. Not like he'd really necessarily need it because he'd probably rely on his intimidation to pull that off. It's just like, you don't like it? Fine. I'm going to either go somewhere else because he wouldn't care, or he'd like threaten the dude. So let's go ahead. Let's see here. It was, what was it, 32 at this point? And then 36. And then we have 40. Oops, not literally 40. And then we want streetwise. That's 44. Do you think he would have first aid? That seems kind of funny. He probably would.
Well, he does have to patch himself. Oh, no, he doesn't. He doesn't have to patch himself up.
I was thinking about like in terms of like patching other people up, but I don't know if he does that ever.
Not. I mean,
he's emotional support.
5.
All right, so we're at 44, and we had.
We have 44. I counted higher, but you scrolled mid count. So
hold on. Oh, son of a gun! No, go away. Yeah. So that's 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40. Then it was 44, and then we have now 48. So 48 is where we're at.
All right. So the cap for these is 5.
Mm-hmm.
So we have 11 points left.
Mm-hmm.
So
here's
you have 12 picked. So what you can do is, pick your 5 favorites and bump them up to 5, and then pick ones where he can get a 1 in that'll trigger the synergy bonus.
Right. Okay.
So like if you throw a 1 in persuasion or something like that, a 1 in pilot he flies the the blackbird.
Yeah, true enough.
All right, you can throw a 1 in pilot.
Yep, and he'd be a decent pilot with that.
And he rides his motorcycle, so he has to have some drive.
Or cycle.
Yeah,
Cycle.
he does need to get cycle.
Yeah.
I didn't put that in there. Hang on.
Yeah, just throw a 1 in cycle.
I'll have to reduce one of these. Well, I guess I could probably throw it in there. It just means we have fewer points to go with. Yeah, so 1 in cycle, so that gives us 3 more points to meddle with, technically. Or, hold on, that's 50. Yeah, we just put 50 in here, so that leaves us 9 points. Thank you, calculator. You're so handy. All right, so definitely, so that's 1. I want one of those for sure. 2 for sure. That makes sense. I'm definitely capping this bitch.
Let's say
that's
martial arts.
Mm-hmm. His martial arts is now as high as it's going to be at the start, which is ridiculous. Good lord. So that's 3 points out of 9, so we got 6 left. 61. Oops.
I would pump it into tracking.
Tracking? Yeah. All right. Any other thoughts? That's 1 more point there.
Tactics.
Yeah, that would make sense. 5 there. All right.
Well, they might as well pump it into survival and stealth.
Lord, stop it. So 55. And what was that, Bill?
You might as well just throw it into survival and stealth.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right. 5, 5. And that puts us up to, not that, 57. We got 2 more points left.
Etiquette? Oh, I'm just joking. Right. Can you take a negative in etiquette? I mean, that's probably good.
All right. Yeah. I'm satisfied with that as well.
Take those 2 points and use them for elsewhere. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
put them
this
into
goes down by
freebie.
2. This goes up by 2. And now we have 17 freebie points to meddle with. On top of the... I wonder if I can... Can I just... God, can I control tab inside of this? Because this taskbar thing is driving me bonkers. Alright. Alright, so... If somebody wants to have...
Let's go buy some advantages.
Yeah. Let's see what these... Yeah, because this is a disadvantage. This is a disadvantage.
He's gonna have,
No, it's not. It's an advantage.
with the, like, melee master.
Oh, no kidding. Really? Fuck. I'm having an aneurysm.
My boss calls it a brain defib.
We know they're at least ranked.
Oh, unlucky is a disadvantage.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I was right the first time. It's just rank 1. What was it, a 4-pointer?
I don't know.
If anybody wants to whip up the sheet or the OneNote or whatever.
Okay, what are we looking at?
Advantages. Or just advantages, disadvantages. I believe you've got it all listed in there in your like one list, which is much easier to follow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say go to that because I modified it and it's gonna have the correct numbers in it instead of the Word doc because the Word doc is out of date.
What are we looking for?
We're looking for unlucky. There's even a search function in Nat Grand.
Lecherous. Okay, unlucky is 5 points.
Ooh, jeez. All right.
Whoa! You changed unlucky dramatically. Oh, dang.
It's expensive when you're unlucky.
Yeah, boosting is now 3 points and rerolls are now 4.
Mm-hmm.
Whew. Okay. And we're doing the thick
skull. Yep. I believe that's a 5-point or 4-point advantage rather. Looks like that. +5. Yes, 45.
Okay.
And I believe that was also a 4-pointer.
Oh, rapid healing.
Yep. Was rapid healing stalled? I think I stopped it from being multi-rank, or did I? Or did I just leave it at max 3?
We had talked about making it a max 3. This says your healing rate's doubled when out of combat. Each rank grants an additional +1 max 3 ranks. So that makes it a rank 1 is ×2, rank 2 is ×3, rank 3 is ×4.
Right. So it increases the
rapid healing is a 5-point advantage.
And are we going to push rapid healing up? Well, I mean, he's going to end up getting regeneration, so rapid healing might be moot.
Pain tolerance is 4 points. Sure. Thick skull is 4 points. Thick skin is 3 points.
-3. -4. And that's an advantage. At 1 rank. Right, so now he's looking at 11 advantages, or 11 points of advantage and 5 points there, so that's only 6. That's a differential of 6.
And then, I don't know if you want like a last stand or something.
Oh, excuse me, 11. Oh, for God's sake. Stop it! It's gonna drive me bonkers, man.
Oh, Martial Master?
Mm-hmm.
That is 5 points.
I believe, doesn't pain tolerance tap out at 3, but yeah. Just thinking out loud here.
And
you said Martial Master was a 4-pointer?
Martial Master is 5.
5, okay. So, I wonder... God, I seriously wish...
Pain tolerance is 3 ranks.
Yeah, it does tap out at 3, okay. 144. Oh, it was a -5, so I gotta go up 2 more. It's gonna be 16. Alright, so we're down to...
Oh, hard to kill?
Yeah.
That's 4 points.
Alright, and then we're gonna add 5 because of the Oops, no. There we go. So got 6 points left. We're keeping track. All right. Stop it. All right, so we got pain tolerance, hard to kill. That was a 4-pointer, right?
Hard to kill is 4 points, yeah.
Okay. Yep.
And that's the one I don't know how to
you put it over here.
add to the sheet.
Right there. You add to the sheet.
You just change it there? Oh, perfect. Okay.
Yeah, you just change the HL max from 4 to 5 in this case because he's only got 1 rank.
Perfect. And there's other stuff that would apply, like long lived, but that's not. We don't need to really do that.
Right. That'll be part of his power and regeneration element.
Yeah. And I think that's it. Okay, so disadvantages.
He took unlucky as a disadvantage. The rest are advantages.
Right. So.
You know,
we've got enemies, berserker.
Yeah.
Temper. Bloodlust. All these, you know, just as options.
I think you know what, enemies and berserker. I think that should do it as far as like, those disadvantages are concerned. What are they? What's the?
What about danger magnet?
He's definitely got to have like +3. Yeah, danger magnet for sure. And then this will be like, I think berserker was a +4. Oh, true enough.
Danger magnet is a 4.
Yep. Okay, sense of duty.
Which I believe is a 3. Yeah.
Sense of duty is 3, yeah.
Okay, and then berserker was what, 4?
No, berserker is like a 2.
A 2? Okay.
I mean, he is paranoid, but...
Yeah, enemies is a 1, berserker's a 2.
That's actually not the right way. It's protection, basically.
We don't have to type all those out.
I'm just putting it in here as a reference point because this will be the first time that anybody will get a chance to see it. What in the world just happened? Why?
Oh, because you have to do an apostrophe first, or it's going to try and do a formula.
I have to hit enter. No, I've made it to where it's text fields. That's why I can do that. But sometimes it goofs if I try to move it in any other way.
Okay, what are you doing? Thick.
Yeah.
Thick skull is negate all crit damage to the head. Yeah, so that's fine. Thick skin is +2 natural armor per rank.
Yep. Oh yeah, that's, natural armor. That's what I called it. Natural armor. And then pain tolerance is, you know, it negates. Yeah, it negates 1 pain penalty per rank. And then the martial master is like +1
melee attack per rank.
Yeah.
All right. That's technically per rank, but that's fine. And then +1 to HL max per rank. That's why it screws up. All right, and then I have 3 here. You know.
Oh, for enemies. Enemies is only a 1 point.
Yes, but it's multi-rank because he can have many enemies. So we're saying that he's got at least 3 enemies of a major kind.
Okay, so are you going to put 3 in the rank?
Oh, yes, I have put 3 in the rank. Thank you. I missed it. Yeah, and then this is like, I don't know, basically.
Oh, Berserker is crazy. Like I don't mean to say it's crazy, it's intense. +3 to combat actions, -3 cool until sanity check.
Right.
With a 20% penalty.
Right. So we'll just put that in there like that. This is kind of a cool way to show how you can like sort of shorthand it.
Right.
And you know, this is just
Danger
kind of
Magnet is a pure RP.
Yeah, it is. All right, so that pretty much handles the description for all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
So now I just got to add all these extra points. We have 5, 8, 12, 16, 19, plus whatever we already had. Or in this case, what was it? It was... I'm going to wipe this out because we'll start from the beginning. We have 10 points, and we had 19, so we just do this. And then we had 2 points from skills, which is 21. And then we had 5, I believe, from here. Or was it 3?
I think we had 3 from stats.
Yeah, so 24. So that's all of the accumulated points that we had there. And then we just have to go back here and make sure that we've spent them all. Which is, or we spent enough. So that's, 8, 11, 16, 20. So 20 points out of that pool got spent. Which still leaves us 14 more points to go, which is great because now we can start looking at his powers.
Right.
Yep, there we go. So it all filters over. All right, so we got all this going on. We'll have motorcycle. Anyway. All right, so powers. Regeneration. Adamantine. Oh, come on, brain. Help!
The Twitch is like a hair behind you, and so it's totally throwing me for a loop.
Well, it's like your typing is the bad dubbing.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got...
Okay, look how quickly you were able to get together the semblance of a character, and now is when you need to have the conversation with your GM, right?
Yeah, because
so
this
you,
is the
you were able to put all that stuff together. Skills, stats, advantages, disadvantages. You have a concept in your head, and now you go, okay, GM, I'm ready.
Yep.
Let's sit down and talk powers. I've got, 14 points left, or whatever.
Yep, and if we look at the
might want to put
here,
for powers sense of smell.
Whoop. Oh yeah, right. Yeah, he's got feral senses. We'll call it.
Isn't that a thing? I saw that.
You have in the advantages,
one.
disadvantages. Yeah, you have the acute sense, but this is.
Oh no! I think I saw feral senses once in the archetype in the old.
Oh, maybe yeah.
Werewolf archetype.
I think so. Yeah, because we're kind of plying off of the werewolf a little bit because once the werewolf was already built, we're going to be establishing this. So we have 14 points. These guys can rank up to 3. I do know that. Not all powers have multiple ranks. You don't need multiple ranks for every power, right? His regeneration definitely could go multi-rank, but honestly, we know exactly where that sits, and that'll be right where the werewolves would be. So you can just say rank 1. There's no drain because he's not using SFR for that. There's no damage for it. Or
what's funny is I'm like thinking of Barrack. Okay, Barrack's got the Omega skin. Like the Omega body frame that gives him like metal plating.
Yeah.
And he's got the Ripper claws that come out of his arm.
Yep.
Okay, so like you could almost like steal that from the cybernetics side of like these are augmentations that have been.
Yeah.
He had the claws put in. He had the skeleton.
Yep.
Put in.
Could be. This here definitely. If I were to put it in there because of where he's at, he's not fully adamantine, so like you could say rank 3 easy. This is kind of where the GM's like intuition has to come in, where it's like he's got his whole endoskeleton done. That's a lot. So maxing out at rank 3 makes perfect sense. Again, no drain, no damage. It's constant. This doesn't matter, and this is coming from the custom source. And then again the claws, which is another both hands, all 6 of them. So no drain. and NA custom.
But it does hurt every time.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the disadvantages, but he'll regenerate that shit right back. And then his feral senses definitely multi-rank. So what you wind up with here is like 10 points right there, just in like all of his powers spent. Oops, constant NA custom. Ugh. For the love of God! All right, so yeah, I mean I think that covers his baseline powers, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then with your few remaining freebie points.
Oh, these actually do have. These are going to be damage. Oh shit, they're going to be each per blade because that's going to be. Oh, fucking gross. Oh, that is disgusting. Okay. Oh, holy damn.
You know, you could go buy him connections and fame.
True,
advantages,
but
or
I mean, so like the adamantine claws, if we treat each set of claws as a single weapon, that right there with the 3 of them combined is still going to be like 7 damage. Yeah, it's actually going to be 8 damage. It's going to be 8 damage per blade, and then it couples with the body. So Jesus effing Christ.
A martial art, right?
Well, yeah, but we're not going to be. So martial arts normally will get added in there. In terms of the striking, because like right here, so what I've done is I've done a minor separation from that, is that his striking ability, because again, having to drop those numbers down and not compiling them too heavy into one area, so
right.
You'd just be here like, you know, this is going to end up being MA1, right, and he's going to have like a natural affinity for using them. That's his effing...
Those are the fucknucks.
Right. I don't know. We'll just say, like, commando. That's the only way that I can really... But yeah, that's like his baseline. But with the bonus to being natural weapons and everything else like that. And then he's got a 2 attack rate with those goddamn things. So he can go nuts. Plus it's dual wielding. So he gets 2 strikes per attack. So he can hit 4 separate fucking times at 20 damage apiece. It sounds like Wolverine to me.
It sounds like Wolverine. This is what I was telling you when I built Hawkeye. I was like, hot damn. This is Hawkeye. I built, Mr. Rogers. And I was like, yeah, that's him.
Good God. Ammo.
So we just built your new superhero comic, or your new superhero
right
game.
Jesus effing Christ! It's gonna be like AP10, something like that. It's gonna be retarded because
it cuts through everything.
Yeah.
The only thing it doesn't cut through is other adamantium.
There's that, or if it was a magically warded kind of a thing, that would be the only other counterpart. But like AP, well, actually, what that would mean is, with that is technically this. He has AP mundane because anything that is non-magical, he just goes
right,
shwink like that, and he gets max damage regardless. Doesn't matter if you're wearing it or not. Yeah.
Yeah. The only way you can avoid damage is if your armor is thick enough that the claws can't penetrate.
Which is why you're like, okay, we're not going after this guy except for in a mech suit or something like that.
And they're nearly indestructible.
Yeah, they
right.
definitely are.
But susceptible to magnetic fields.
Right. Ibble with a capital N. Oh yeah, I love all that.
Weak to magnets.
So I will say, Bill, I don't know if you've seen this, but like when D puts his cursor over
the feral sense of 34 is driving me nuts, by the way.
What now?
Oh.
Like
how you see how that pops up?
When you go back to powers, there's the 34 in the...
I got it fixed. I got it. I got you.
Thank you.
He can like sniff you to death. He's like...
Oh my god, he went into adamantium claws. Oh wait, there it is. Oh wait, that's from the 34. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, each hand.
Okay.
And he could choose to extend only one at a time.
Right. Which would mean that he'd be able to knock
Because I remember in the X-Men movie,
yep.
when he was like, whooshing, flipped him off.
Yeah. You could do this. Like you could do 7 base. That way you could just like isolate it out if you really wanted to, or if you're actually like me in this case, I usually put so leaving that field alone. Okay. Do like 7 per blade. That way you know what's going on, and be like to plus, body. If you really need to hammer it out, because that way you know what's going on with all of that.
Yeah.
Boop. So, but I mean, like, Jesus Christ, man, he doesn't miss. He does ridiculous damage. Yeah, it sounds like fucking Wolverine. It's psychotic.
I just, right?
Yeah, and he'll get
and then when it goes into rage, right? That berserker rage.
Oh, that's another power he has, rage.
Well, that's one of it's a disadvantage.
Yeah, his berserker disadvantage. So he gets +3, which means that his striking technically becomes 23 when he goes on full Logan's Run mode. He gets a 23
so that could almost be a form.
Yeah.
That, I mean, I'm serious. Like you could put that in as a form because it's a +3 to combat and a -3 to cool.
Right.
And so, like, as a way of like flip, and his sanity is at 20% reduction.
Discount, yeah. And right now his sanity
is sanity's at 50%.
Yeah, so you got to roll 20 or lower before him to snap out of it, which again sounds just like fracking Wolverine.
Until he'd be knocked unconscious or something.
Yeah.
In order for him to.
Best of frickin' luck, yeah. So like that right there is 10 points. Got that all sorted out. Now, he regenerates the same rate as a werewolf would, which means that if he takes, like, I don't know, like, this is the psychotic part. Like, he takes 30 damage, and it just, like that, shows up that many. Next round, he just goes, okay, it's 20, it's 25. And then he just goes back up 20 the next round. And he's, the next round after that, he's 15. You can see how fast he just recuperates.
And because of pain tolerance, he's operating at...
one less than what these indicate.
A lesser,
right.
Yeah.
So he's only at a -1 right now, as opposed to a -2.
Well, and I would say you could even put in if you've got leftover points, if you have enough to buy a second thick skin.
Oh yeah, he does. He's got another one. Like, oops, wrong sheet. Beep. Yeah. So his pain tolerance. Where the F is it? All right, pain tolerance. Yeah, it's a 4-pointer, and we have exactly 4 points. So if we go boom. And -8, that covers that, and he's literally all spent.
Yeah,
he does all 14 right there. So that's powers.
So that's minus. He's operating at -2 penalty on pain.
Yep.
And right. You're 2 categories lower, so he has to take. He has to be like 30% damaged before he starts noticing it.
Right. He's at a -3 right here, where everybody else, their guts are falling out and they're trying to keep things together.
Yeah.
Now, quick question about the tables. If you were to take that where that penalty is -1 and enter 0, or is that a locked field?
What do you mean? What?
Well, under health levels, if you change
the penalty, because we got the pain tolerance of 2, right?
You cannot change these.
Okay, you cannot change those.
No.
Okay.
They're meant to be a fixed reference, so that way you know what you're dealing with. You just have to kind of manage it in your own mind.
It's not calculated.
Right. You basically just say, if I have a pain tolerance of 3, I technically have a -1 here. And if I have a pain tolerance of 4, I have a -1 here. And you just move the 1 down. So every single rank, you just move the 1. So a pain tolerance of 1 moves the 1 here. A pain tolerance of 2 moves the 1 here. And then 3 here, 4 here, and so on. So you basically look at it like that because, but I think it maxes at 3.
Yeah.
So in this case, no matter what, you'll start suffering pain modifiers at, level 5.
When your arm has
or at level
been
4, rather.
Ripped off.
Yeah, when you're basically trying to, survive.
when you are cut in half.
Yeah, and then this is 1 health per rank, and the other thing too is the regeneration does mean he will regrow limbs and all of that other stuff, even if he loses them, but he won't because of the adamantine skeleton.
Okay,
So-
how long did that take?
Well, I mean, right now it's
see.
only 9:37. I think we started about 45 minutes after, so less than an hour, about 40 minutes maybe. Just kind of rounding it out and discussing
Well,
what was proper.
I sent Bill the link. So
I'm
yeah,
watching it now.
right before 9 o'clock. So
Really? So it's been 30 something minutes, only 30 minutes or so.
I've spent days building D&D characters, trying to, like I said, trying to say, can I bump this up to an even number so I can get that extra +1 somewhere else? And then if I take Jack of all trades and I take always a natural and I take melee master, oh, then I have a +6 on my attack. Okay. And I sacrifice the soul of the character trying to eke out an extra +1 somewhere. Right. Here,
well, that's what we've worked with. The synergy system is the fact it has to. You can't specialize in I want to put 20 points in this skill and it's going to carry me through. No, you
reflexes. I'll say if you
all your stats.
If you dump points into reflex and intelligence, you're in a pretty good shape. If you are a weapon user and you put points in reflex, that carries through to all the weapons. But the rest of these skills, yeah, they're so what I like is that it is skill based, and what I mean is that there's not a separate you have attacks that are tied to your archetype or class or whatever, and then you have skills that are for everybody. Anybody can pick up a handgun, and
relatively aim and fire it with some degree of success. Yeah,
and your rank determines. And this is one of those things that you mentioned earlier. How early did you get into it?
Mm-hmm.
Because at character creation, buying a rank of a skill is way cheaper than you've been playing for 6 months and you're like, I'm going to pick up a handgun and start learning how to use that. You're like, okay, I'm at handgun rank 5 from the start. You want to get up to rank 5 in handguns? That's going to cost you 30 points.
Yeah, it's going to cost a lot. Because it's
that's going to cost you several sessions of IP, which is represented by your character not having that as part of their backstory, but by training at the range, in the danger room, whatever. You're doing that training and you're spending that IP to level it up. But me coming in with my 40 years of background experience, I'm coming in with a 5. We can eventually get to that same level. It's going to cost you way more to get there.
Right.
And I love that the system rewards that, having a clear character concept, but also allowing you to grow if you put effort into that.
Yep. Well, and so the other big thing too is that the milestones. I don't know if you guys went over and looked at this.
I don't know how this works.
So in other words, you just count it by session, so there's rewards for showing up. The milestones will basically be a representative of the actual time. So more or less, it's like paying the player.
Oh, that's cool.
Bribing the player, I mean, encouraging them to play well.
Oh my gosh, it's like a punch card.
Yeah.
You get your free sub.
Yep, you can get your milestones, and it bases on the number of sessions you've played in. So you can just say, I've played in 5 sessions, I get a minor milestone. I hit the 10 session mark, I get a really major milestone, and I'm going to decide.
Oh my gosh.
And it's going to be oriented around your primary archetype, and you can be like, I'm going to overload this skill, or I'm going to do this. But it allows you to sit there and go, I've spent a lot of time dicking around with this particular character, and I'm just going to use, it's like this milestone hit because I've been playing this guy for 10 sessions now. That's 10 weeks. Even if it's 2 hours a pop, that's 10 weeks worth of time passed.
Absolutely.
Which will make their death so much worse.
Oh my gosh. So when I saw milestones, I was thinking, so my brain is, D&D, but I'm thinking, right, in 4th edition, you do 2 encounters without a rest, and you get a milestone.
Mm-hmm.
And different character classes, archetypes, they get a bonus for a milestone. So you get an extra action point, which is basically our version of luck, right?
Yeah.
And that it gets you like that boost reroll sort of mechanic. And then once you're like really high level, when you hit a milestone, you get a blah blah blah.
Right.
So I was thinking it's like that. Like we never do 2 fights in a session. We're lucky if we do 1 fight in 2 sessions.
Well,
like,
I mean, that's the thing is,
but I love that this is a player milestone.
Your time card analogy is probably the best one for it. Because the thing is, it's we want the characters to be you want to be invested in the characters. Well, if you have milestones of your achievements for this much playing, because it's the other aspect of all the skills building into each other. It's another level of, well, I put this much time into the character.
That's like experience points, but it's different.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, because you're putting it into it, you're punching that card.
Yeah.
There's the other aspect of your emotional investment.
And it's a session's a session. Like it doesn't, I'm not walking around with a bag of rats so that I can kill something that earns me XP so that I can level up. Like I'm not going to kill the dragon and get awarded 4,326 XP, but I need 5,000 to level up. And so I'm like, can I go out and find some goblins to kill? Like, no, I like that really like that as a concept. I did not know that that's what that was, and that's a very pleasant surprise, and I really like that.
Yeah, I mean, you put in what your base archetype is, so that we know what milestones you'll be getting, and then you just record what session you have or what you've played, and it just kind of helps you go like, wow, we've played 20-something sessions. I mean, like when we start thinking about it, milestones for our current crew would be insane. I think we would have had this list. This list would probably be like complete by the end of it.
So what type of milestones would they be? Would they be mundane, like neutral ones that would be +1 to a stat?
But basically, yeah, but not so much +1. It's basically like if you're playing Human Cyborg, for instance, and you're like, okay, I've never really had a chance to like bump this up. I've spent my IP in all these other areas. Like maybe it's skills, maybe I've spent it in certain or removing disadvantages because that way it doesn't affect my character at all. I buy it off, whatever it is that you're doing. Because again, disadvantages can be bought off if you just add the story element and use your IP to buy it.
Maybe that's a milestone, though.
Right, you could do that. You could use that as a way of buying off a disadvantage if you wanted to in terms of a general sense, or you could go so far as to say, well, this archetype really needs to have, I really want to have something boosted, and you can be like, okay, well, it's been this many sessions, let's take like a D4 and just go like that and bounce one of the stats up. And that'd be like a major milestone. Like that's like 10 sessions in.
That's a 10, a 20.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I don't need to tell you how many games don't make it to the session after the first combat.
Yeah, no kidding.
Especially online games.
Yeah.
Especially online games. You'll play, everybody's at the tavern, they're at the, now they're escorting a caravan.
Taverns. Yeah.
Right? Escorting the caravan was the one for the last 10 years.
Every single goddamn time. Yep.
And whatever, and then you meet, and you have your little social banter, you get your quest, you go fight that first kobolds, goblins, wargs, whatever, and then everybody heals up, and then it's like, well, now what do we do? And then, I can't play, my kid's got a concert, I've got Girl Scouts, whatever, and then you're like, when are we going to get together next time? Well, I don't know. There's nothing driving us to get back together right now. I've played a million D&D games like that.
Yeah. I don't remember what color his eyes were.
But... They were hazel. I can't believe you didn't notice.
Were they, though?
I don't know.
What color are Wolverine's eyes? You should put secret skills singing like Hugh Jackman. Wolverine's eye color. Blue.
Blue, okay. All right. Well, there you go.
I mean, not according to any of these images of him, but according to the first thing that popped up from the Earth's Mightiest Heroes wiki.
Right.
His height 5'3", weight 300 pounds.
God damn.
Because of the adamantium.
Right.
Oh god, I'm gonna have so much trouble being at work tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because I want to watch Witcher, and I want to go see Spider-Man. Some of the reviews that are coming in for Spider-Man are like, it's Spider-Verse or No Way Home. Like, it's real hard toss-up to see which one's the best.
That's a good comparison, though. You
And
want
I'm like,
Spider-Verse.
I love Spider-Verse.
Yeah, dude,
Oh,
Spider-Verse was amazing. So that's a good way to go. If they're saying it's like that, then I'm down. I want to go catch that.
Did you watch Hawkeye yet?
The latest one?
Yeah. It came out yesterday.
When is the next one? When does the next one air this week?
They come on Wednesdays, so it
on
came out yesterday.
I think I watched it. Let me think. Hold on. Did I actually catch it or not? What was the last thing he did that I remember?
The end credits scene changed.
Mm.
And I had to go back and check the end credits of the previous 4 episodes to see if they changed, did it change or was it always like that and I missed it? Because there hasn't been any post-credit stuff, but I've been waiting just in case.
Yeah, I'll get back to you on that because I don't remember if I've actually watched it or not. I think I may have. I just don't remember.
The new episode yesterday was good.
Yeah, I don't think I watched it yesterday. I didn't watch it yet. I'll have to catch that. For sure. Because I like Hawkeye, man. They're doing a great job.
Hawkeye's... I'm liking it. It makes me want to go back and watch, like, Falcon, Winter Soldier, and, like, kind of, like, get a rush of that summer series again.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And see how they fit in. But it's been really cool to see how they're weaving in this next generation, right? If like,
right,
Steve Rogers is out, Tony Stark is out, Romanoff is out. Like they've pulled those characters out, and then they're inserting Shang-Chi, and they're inserting, and Hawkeye can leave, and new Hawkeye can come in. Like how they're kind of cycling out the original group. It's really cool. And then we're going to get Thor Love and Thunder with Natalie Portman as Thor.
Oh my gosh.
It's just going to be so awesome.
And then Christian Bale is playing Gore the God Butcher.
Yeah. I still haven't seen Eternals.
Wait, Christian Bale's playing what now?
Gore the God Killer.
I'm gonna have to refresh my memory because I don't even remember what Gore was. But Christian Bale's an intense actor, super intense. So whatever that is, man, he's gonna be rocking the hell out of it for sure.
Gore the Redeemer, Killer of Gods, Butcher of Gods, the Black Butcher. Yes.
And that's gonna be in Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ah, son of a bitch.
I'm just now seeing the chicken in the Night City OOC chat.
The what? Oh, yeah.
The chicken gif I put last game.
Yeah.
Apparently I missed that when it came around the first time.
It was pretty bad.
Man, seriously, the GIF work in that channel screws me up so hard. Y'all just be slinging that shit.
Oh, okay, here's what we need to put in for a power for Wolverine. His, lightning.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man, I used to watch that show all the time.
I remember that in the games when he could, do, a ranged attack.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, but all I can think of seeing that is Jeff Goldblum. Ooh. Sparkles.
Yes.
I love Jeff Goldblum. I love the fact that they just told him to be himself in that Thor Ragnarok, man. They were just like, just be you. Just have this guy a part of it, whatever it is. But you be
Here's
yourself.
the lines.
Yeah.
Do what you want.
Ooh, season 2 of his show is out
Oh, good.
on
Also,
Nat Geo.
let us not forget the brilliance that is Nick Cage.
Nick
playing
Cage, the Nick Cage playing Nick Cage.
Cage as a super celebrity.
Yes, I love it.
It's gonna be another masterpiece, man.
I love this new cover so much for the book. I accidentally tabbed to that and like it looks good.
Yeah.
Did you see it, Bill? With the
double weapons. Have you seen the new cover yet?
The Game Master's Workshop one?
No.
no,
The
no,
main
no, no,
one.
no.
The main cover.
Oh, yeah, just the Shadow's Core rulebook with the guy with the 2 guns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I mean, that's the art style that should really define the CRB.
I mean, that's a photo. That's the problem.
We're gonna be mixing it, but we're gonna use as close to realistic as possible with some flourishes here and there. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. Scott's been going through my libraries of the stuff I've been saving.
We'll see
Yeah.
what's available.
Yeah, we'll
You know
be able
what's
to do it.
cool? If we can find even good reference photos, even those ones with a flat background and just people like doing
Yeah.
whatever, then you can find an artist and say, "Hey, cyberpunk this,"
Yeah.
you know?
That'd
Or
be cool,
something
too.
like this.
Yeah. But I think let's milk that Shutterstock for as much as it's worth.
Like I said, we've
And then
got
some.
40. We have 40 freaking pictures because I've got 4 more months left before it renews. We have 40 more, so that's a lot, and I think we should use every ounce of it to make that
Yeah,
work.
well, I like that you started building those collections.
Yeah. Like I said, I'll browse through and add more and add more and add more because I'm sort of like oddly obsessive about building new pictures for that kind of thing. Shutterstock is going to become my new Pinterest.
I was to say, forget Pinterest now. It's Shutterstock.
Yeah. I have to get away from Pinterest anyway. I looked once at a board that had this thing called your boyfriend Peter. I don't know if you guys have heard of this, but my oldest daughter had like caught it. It's a really weird, wacky game that kind of goes into that like psychosis kind of thing where this guy is ultra obsessive and watching this girl through a window, like really creepy shit. And I was just like, okay. So I looked at it and I was like, wow. Now my Pinterest will not let it the fuck go. All I get are notifications about your boyfriend Peter, and I'm like, I ain't interested. Stop telling me about him. Like,
We'll go to the Shadows board that I made, and it will repopulate with everything in pink, blue, and purple.
Yeah. I'll cleanse the palette a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I keep...
You're like, get me away from this creepy boyfriend and push me into a cyberpunk dystopia.
Yeah, like, let me, like, this is the realm of creepy I'm okay with. This is my comfort zone.
Why did I get this background from?
What, the snowy hills or the pencil coming out of the tree or whatever?
It's like Snow's Giving. Discord Snow's Giving.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, I like this one.
I just went with the background of the color we'll all be sick of in like 10 years.
Right.
I honestly don't think I'll ever get tired of it. I'm like...
Well, it will be when we're living in it. That will be like, hey, do you play that retro games?
God, do you remember when colors used to be things like, amber and green and, blues that were like not dirty?
Remember back when it didn't rain all the time? When it was an acid rain on nighttime all the time? Before the dome?
Before the dome. Oh, shit.
Before they put the plate on top of us and they ascended up into the heavens, the meths. Oh, man. Okay, so I really, really liked season 1. What was that show?
Altered Carbon.
Altered Carbon, yeah.
Season 2 was like...
Like
it was... I still liked it, but it was like... It felt like a totally different show.
Well, it was. It was a different him. It was him 200 years in the future. 200 years of wandering and reflecting on his violence and etc. He was a much more mellower character because of it.
But then it turns out those are based on book.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn it, now I gotta read the book.
Yeah.
I already
With-
have to read all the Expanse books and all the Witcher books.
See, I don't
Yes.
have those opportunities anymore. I have 44 fracking books that I need to go through thanks to my birthday.
Yeah, sorry, not sorry.
Yeah.
But the problem is you're gonna become so douchey with your language that you'll be like, "Oh, Scott," because we got you all those books that have just words.
Yeah.
The Seven Deadly Sins one looked really interesting to me because it's like the book is like wrath, and it's just full of that emotion of words.
Right.
And then there's the gluttony book, and it's just full of that to like give you that vocabulary. You're like, okay, I'm trying to describe this character, and I'm tired of saying angry all the time. Okay, let's flip open the wrath book. Oh, okay, this is how they really are.
Right. Yeah. I'm gonna love that though. I've needed a boost to vocabulary for writing for a long time, because a lot of writers, I actually miss. There is something I miss about old style stories. Like whenever you read things like Bram Stoker's Dracula, there's a prose that doesn't exist anymore in the written language, and I miss how some of that comes across because it's so clean and in your face, yet vibrantly descriptive at the same time. So I don't know, it's something about it. It's kind of like whenever you hear a British person talk, whenever they have any semblance of intelligence, it seems to amplify that sense of intelligence, even if they're completely wacko.
Well, that's why I like to reading the Wheel of Time stuff over. Like that's 30 years old, and it's a pre-internet. Obviously the characters in the book don't have internet, but like the author has not been exposed to the internet yet, and that is not part of his world. And my dad, just his favorite author is Robert Heinlein, and he just found this like unpublished Robert Heinlein book that's been sitting around collecting dust for 60 years, and he's like, it's a new Heinlein book. Like I didn't think I would ever get to read a new one. And it was like it got stuck like behind a file cabinet sort of situation. And they found it and they're publishing it. And so he's like as excited as he was when he was 15 years old, cracking open those books when they were brand new on the shelf. And so it's I will always nurture a love of language and reading because it opens your brain to new horizons, and it helps create stuff like this, right? Like all this stuff we're doing. I know one of my coworkers could see because my camera is right here, and she could see like over my shoulder. She's like, "What do you have on your computer there?" And I had like the CRB up. I was like, "Oh, it's this project that I'm working on with some friends." And she's like, "What is that?" And she's really into games, but not at all into role playing games. And so I was like, "Oh, well, welcome to the world of Shadows." She was like, "Oh, cool. Anyway, she's like, so it's like D&D with guns?" And I was like, I mean,
yes,
laser guns.
It's pew pew D&D.
Pew pew D&D.
It was very funny.
Oh my god, man. Yeah, well, I mean, it's coming along, and I think the sheet is beta playable. I need that certification. I still haven't.
You just put it through its paces. I mean,
yeah. Dude, it took me 3.5 freaking days, plus a little bit, plus or minus an hour or two, to freaking debug the shit out of this thing, because I did not realize that cells don't automatically incorporate the formats of cells that they're pulling results of.
Oh, the references,
from. Yeah. So if they reference a cell that's got a decimal or something, you have to hit every single cell that was referencing it to make it do the same thing. Because I kept encountering that over and over and over and over again. I was like, son of a bitch! Like I need it to be a whole number. It's not these decimal shits. Like that was.
Yeah. But in looking at that RPG Creator Discord, you were like way ahead of some of these games that are coming out that that people they're like, here's my character sheet, and it's like a half page.
Oh.
And it's like likes and dislikes. And I'm like, I mean, I guess this works for some people, that it's like, you are starting at an architecture firm. How will it go? a quick 1 hour role playing game. I'm like, what?
No.
That's just playing pretend. Like that's I can't.
What's
What?
the game called? Glass Door?
It's
Oh my god.
I was just
See, like our new game is called Indeed.
Oh god.
right. Let's see if you can unlock Indeed Plus.
Oh no. Yeah.
Can you
Yeah,
get
I don't know.
HR
Oh,
screening?
here's this one. I've put up a free 1-page RPG about how hard it is to be true to your authentic self. And I'm like, what? How is that an RPG? It's a 1-page. Being authentic might seem easy, but it's freaking hard when situations seem tailored to your weaknesses and people that you know try to exploit your nature. All self-expressions and skills are rated 0 to 4. Starting characters have 10 points to distribute however you like between self-expressions and skills.
So it's Oran Host Club.
It's like, and then your self-expressions are determination, force, speed, precision, imagination, and your skills are social, movement, academics, agility, and craft. So in a test, the GM states something is risky or could go wrong. You decide which skill you're using, and you get the GM to agree to that. The GM secretly picks a complication from the test resolution table, and then you check the table. If you meet the difficulty, you pass the test. But if you don't win, you fail the test. That's it. There's no dice or anything. Like there's no random probability. It's like this requires a force of +2, and you only have a +3.
It kind of
You
sounds to me
fail.
like, you know.
Like, okay.
I mean, it sounds like kind of like a board game. Like I'm going to go out and play Monopoly tonight with a little extras, like something thrown in.
But not even. It's
Yeah.
Candyland. Candyland is
Yeah.
a 0 skill board game.
Oh yeah. Yep.
It requires moving
Luck.
the
Yeah.
color that you drew the card.
Yep.
And the deck could be stacked in such a way that there's no way that you win because the person going opposite you happens to get all doubles or whatever.
Right.
Or that damn cinnamon bun.
Or that damn cinnamon bun. But yeah, I'm like, wait, what? This is not that this is like your competition, but I'm like, this is your competition? For who else
Right.
is like in this creator forum? You're driving your car on vacation. Uh-oh, complication. You need gas. I'm like, go to the gas station? You win. Like, oh wow. Okay. We're like
yeah.
trying to figure out the exact names of the specialized ammunition that will be used to remove the head of a
Right.
werewolf.
Yeah. How can you deliver it? Deliver it death immediately as soon as possible.
We
I
have
went this
cool
fight?
as stat.
And then you get to shadows. Now, what you mean about the word generation?
Yeah, right.
Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah, it's I think that if I was to throw a theme at it at all, like the underlying theme, like not just the cyberpunk and the rest of it, but I mean the feel of it's supposed to be like gritty cinematic realism. That is the closest I can come for what it's supposed to be. It has enough realism thrown in that it makes it dangerous to play and it's fun as hell because of it, but it's cinematic, so you can actually get in there and do the crazy shit and sometimes win. You know? So it's just like, I don't know. I think it
Not that
fits
we
into
haven't proved that time and time again.
Oh my gosh, I just thought of a new power I need.
Oh boy. That
Bullet time.
Ooh.
Talk to Max Winston.
Bullet time. Barrick slows down time around him while he maneuvers into the perfect shot. I've been reading the Christmasaurus to my kids, which is a really fun story, but it's like legit like 400-page novel.
Wow.
And there's the Winter Witch who drinks a magic potion and gets brain freeze, and that's how Santa is able to deliver presents to all the kids around the world because she slows time to a crawl, except for Santa. And I was like reading this, and my oldest looks over and she goes, "That's like bullet time in the Matrix, huh?" And I was like, "Yeah." And the other two are like, "What's bullet time?" I'm like, "We're not talking about the Matrix." Like, But now all I can imagine is Santa using bullet time.
Oh God. Yeah.
Throwing presents left and right.
I guess, like he's battling Krampus, aka
Yeah.
Agents.
I like it.
I still want to see the Mel Gibson Santa Claus movie.
Oh shit!
I have
about
not
that.
seen that, but was that last year?
I think it
Yeah.
was last year. I need to find it.
What the hell is the name of that?
Claus.
Claus. Yeah.
Mel Gibson. We're still giving him a chance.
Well, I mean, yeah. It's kind of an interesting point.
Damn,
Fat
this
Man.
is a pretty.
It's
cover.
called Fat Man.
Yeah, Fat Man. There it is.
Oh, and Bill, did you hear that I shared the cover on this RPG forum and someone said I would buy that game based solely on the cover?
Yeah, and that's the thing is what I was telling D was the fact that the color palette that we're using,
Yeah.
all the content that's in it, the and type of investment that comes into the storytelling element, it's far and above anything I've seen. Like on the Kickstarters or anything like that. I read like you're adding fluff to add fluff. Like there was this one.
Well, a lot of Kickstarters are we're using an existing system and we're adding a Wild West theme to it or whatever. And this is a whole new thing. Yeah. And it's not 4 dudes with a, trust fund in a Seattle coffee shop banging it out. It's like, we have jobs. This is the side thing.
Yeah, it's 4 dudes drinking coffee, banging it out. That's basically what.
This might be worth it to rent. You can rent it for $1.99 on Amazon Prime.
Oh, there you go.
What's that?
Fat Man.
Oh, Fat Man.
Mm-hmm.
When we started building this had little bits of paint fingerprints all over it, like Christmas lights. And I have drunk so much coffee out of this mug in the last year. I have worn off all but 2 of the fingerprints.
Nice.
Well done. Yeah. Well,
all right, I am gonna head out.
Alrighty.
Good session.
Yes,
we built Wolverine.
Yeah,
I can tell you, I can't do that in any other session I know, except for one that is specific to superheroes, and this is not a specific to superhero session or setting.
And that's the crazy part is that you can do that, and that's kind of like evidence of the system can literally do anything. Conjure up a concept, make it really solid, and it comes out on the sheet exactly like you'd expect, which is crazy. And the best part is because it's all yours, the custom characters you build, they become some of the most important because they are literally from scratch out of your own head and they work.
And the advantages and disadvantages are...
They're definitely a backbone.
Universal enough.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to be South Coast pirate duelist. My character's from the Norse area. I can't be a South Coast pirate duelist.
Yeah.
Sorry, this is only available to elves. It doesn't have that situation.
Every component of the character sheet's built on the other. The base stats influence the skills. The advantages influence the character development and skills. Your powers are based off of your distribution of just about everything through every other stat. I mean, you cannot separate one system from the other, hence the synergy.
But man, if you were going to make cybernetics cost money, which you should,
I do.
That wealthy advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Suddenly, I'm thinking Vic Stone wouldn't look like that if it wasn't for his dad having those connections. He wouldn't, right? He wouldn't have been Cyborg. He would have been a quadriplegic, multiple amputee, in a wheelchair at best.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But instead, because of the wealthy advantage, he was able to get
connections, Star Lab,
and connections, and being athletic, and he was able to get that hookup and become Cyborg.
And congratulations, you created another superhero.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, take care, gents.
Take care.
Right. Have a good night, guys.